Let's figure out why Beth has put on 30 pounds in 3 months.
Remember, feelings. Always listen for feelings. Feelings are the important part of the work.
Nothing I did was working. The more I tried, the more out of control my eating became. Then, I did something I hadn't tried before. I became a savvy detective and figured things out. If I can do it, so can you. Find out more at solveyouroutofcontrol.eating.com.
Hi, welcome to Solve Your Out of Control Eating, where we solve real-life eating issues. My name is Michelle Holtzberger, and I'm a clinical social worker.
And I'm Victoria Todd. I'm a child and adult psychoanalyst. I've been assisting individuals with all kinds of eating issues for a very long time. Most kept their eating a secret and suffered in silence until they just couldn't take anymore. Then they made the call. As a result of my work with these brave individuals, I have learned so much. And this is why Michelle and I are doing this. We want to share those insights with you, and we want you to have the chance to learn from others.
Yes, we do. And here's how this works. We're going to teach you how to become savvy detectives who search for clues. Clues are feelings that get in the way and make it very difficult, maybe even impossible, for others and even possibly for you to make good choices. So grab your detective cap, your magnifying glass, and your notebook, and even write in the comments, because today we're going to meet Beth and see what she can teach us. We invite you to step into our virtual office and be like a fly on the wall for this brief therapy session, and then join us afterwards for our insights. And now, here's Beth.
My husband's threatening to leave me because I'm too fat. I'm so scared. He's all I have.
Sounds scary.
It is. My parents and I, well, we haven't gotten along in years. Not since I moved in with Rick. And I don't have many friends. They don't like him either. Guess I put all my eggs in one basket. But now he says I'm too fat. Says no man wants a wife bigger than he is.
Hurtful words.
Oh, trust me, there have been plenty more. He's been saying mean things for the last 3 years, even before we got married. It started out really good. When I first met him, he was so sweet and kind, attentive and generous. He told me I was the most beautiful woman he'd ever met. He was always buying me little gifts, flowers, scented candles, sexy lingerie. He even carved my name into a pumpkin and surrounded it with flowers for Halloween. Told me he couldn't stop thinking of me, missed me so much when I went on work trips, texted me all the time. But then everything changed.
When was that?
When I moved in, he started calling me a slob if I left one thing out, like my blow dryer or if I left my jacket on the kitchen chair. And he said I'm terrible at managing money, so he handles our finances. But the weird thing is that I used to be really good at managing money. He was the one in debt. I don't know.
How confusing. Sounds like he went from being kind to, what shall we call it?
My friends call it controlling,
What do you call it?
bossy. But he's right. I can be kind of a mess sometimes, like when I'm cooking, and I do spend too much money on makeup and hair products. Plus, I have to keep my therapy a secret. He wouldn't want me spending the money. But in the past year and a half, it's gotten really bad, and I need help.
Tell me.
He's out every night with his work friends until well past midnight while I wait for him to come home. He doesn't even bother texting me. If I text him, he gets mad. Says I'm always checking up on him. Don't you trust me?
Do you?
Not really. He's always checking his phone, acting sneaky. Yesterday, he told me he would be home on time, so I cooked dinner, but he didn't show up until after I went to bed.
How did that make you feel?
Sad.
Sad or mad?
Sad. When he does this to me, well, that's when I eat. I've put on 30 pounds in the last 3 months. When I started eating sweets, I just can't stop. I hide them in the trunk of my car so Rick doesn't see them. When I bag up the wrappers and take them down to the dumpster before he gets home, in case he goes through the trash. I know it sounds childish, but I feel so anxious all the time, and food helps. The other day, he was berating me for being fat. He told me he could barely keep his hands off the women at work, which makes me wonder about what he's doing at night.
What do you suppose is happening?
Well, if he can barely keep his hands off the women at work, I doubt he's keeping his hands off the women in bars. And I keep getting, urinary tract infections.
What do you make of that?
Well, I think he's screwing around and bringing cooties home to me.
And yet you stay?
Well, I love him. And besides, where would I go?
Good question.
Maybe my cousins? I could stay with her for a while. But I really want to lose weight and save my marriage. I try, but I can't stop eating. I beg him to give me another chance, but then I don't change. And now he's saying he's going to file for divorce if I don't lose the weight.
Well, now comes the fun part, the detective work. Let's figure out why Beth has put on 30 pounds in 3 months.
Boy, this is a mystery, and we don't have a ton of information to go on, but I think we can put some important puzzle pieces together. As usual, I took notes, and I've encouraged our detectives to do the same. Remember, feelings, always listen for feelings. Feelings are the important part of the work. So here are the feelings that I wrote down that Beth mentioned. Scared.
Scared that he's going to leave her and then she doesn't have anywhere to go.
Exactly. Sad.
Sad when he lies to her and berates her.
Yes. And anxious.
Which is all the time. And who wouldn't be with a guy like this? I mean, right.
That's right, Michelle. And thank you, Beth, because this gives me the chance to talk with our detectives about an important therapy issue, missing feelings. Now, when I say missing feelings, I don't mean I miss Kate. I hope she comes by this week. No, I'll use Beth as an example. The normal reaction to mistreatment, physical abuse, sexual abuse, financial abuse, any kind of abuse, the normal reaction is anger. 1 + 2 = 3. I didn't hear any anger coming from Beth. In fact, the therapist even asked her at one point, "Are you mad?" And she responded, no, not angry, sad. If I would have been there, I would have said so much easier to be sad than mad. But why? Why can't Beth have her mad feelings?
On the surface, it looks like she can't get mad because, she's afraid he's going to leave her, out of fear. But I think there's more to it than that.
Yes. And I agree. I think that's why she feels she can't get mad. But mad feelings don't magically go away. And there's no indication that Beth is directing her mad feelings at someone else. It's just not at all in the material. So where do they go? And I think I have an idea on this. I think just as Beth stuffs food down inside her, she also stuffs her mad feelings down inside her. And it's really unfortunate because if she could have her mad feelings, they would save her. She would be the one leaving him rather than him leaving her. And he's a very disturbed guy.
Do you think he's dangerous?
Emotionally, I think he's very dangerous. Physically, I'm not sure. He's a very controlling man. If he feels control slipping away, I don't know how he'd respond because we don't have enough history on him to know that.
But you think he's a narcissist?
I do. And as she was talking, I was writing down the telltale signs. First of all, she's isolated. Her family and her friends don't like him, so they don't bother coming around. And then he is fostering dependence. You know, he has her somehow convinced she cannot manage her own money. He'll take care of it for her.
Yeah, I mean, she suddenly became so confused and couldn't even handle her banking anymore, which that's pretty unusual.
Exactly, exactly. But there's other telltale signs too here. Love bombing. He started out with the love bombing. All these wonderful, thoughtful little gifts. Then he does the gaslighting. You know, you can't manage your own money, I'll take over. Then he devalues her. You're nothing but a slob. Then he does blame shifting. He's the one that was in debt when she met him. Now he's telling Beth she's the one that can't manage her money.
Mhm.
These are very typical signs of a narcissist.
Well, he interferes with her reality testing, and is making her doubt herself. I mean,
Exactly.
do you think he'll leave her?
No, I think this guy's got it made. The only thing that makes me even wonder in the least is if he starts losing control, he might use that as a scare tactic. And he's kind of using it now anyway to gain more control of the situation. So it would be a big, grand departure. You know, all this fanfare. He's banking on the fact that Beth will beg and plead with him to stay. He may disappear for a little while and then he'll be back. And if she takes him back, he will be so in the driver's seat, it's not funny.
Right.
With the narcissist, there's 3 important words to remember. Need fulfilling object. Beth is his need fulfilling object. And I think that the need that she fulfills is financial. I think he's siphoning off her money. I think he's financially abusing her.
Fortunately, Beth is already in therapy, but you know, in our first video, we gave people some options of things that they can do if they weren't in therapy, if they weren't ready to take that next step. And what I'm wondering about is, you know, it is very difficult for Beth to show these mad feelings, and she's stuffing them with food. So what happened in her past, either when she got mad, we don't know, or her family around her, what happened when they got mad that makes being mad such a bad thing. So this is where someone could take the detective role and start to become curious. If Beth was curious about these things and started to ponder them, then she could write in her notebook what she remembers about herself or her family being mad.
Those are excellent suggestions, Michelle.
Well, that's it for now. There's more stories like this to come. So please give this video a like and subscribe and hit the bell to be notified of future episodes. And check out our website, solveyouroutofcontroleating.com.